Okay, folks, having some technical difficulties. Um, I decided to go live on my phone because, quite frankly, I trust my phone a lot more than I trust anything else. So I'm just gonna go live on my phone, man. I know it's frustrating. I apologize for that. So I'm just gonna go live on my phone, and I know my phone ain't gonna go out on. Um, man, Spectrum. If you don't know, I think if you're in New Orleans, you probably deal with Cox Cable. But around here, Spectrum, man. Spectrum is like the worst internet provider that I ever seen in my entire life. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm talking about me and my girl be watching TV, all of a sudden TV just go out in the middle of a show. So, like I said, I'm just gonna go live on my phone and we'll just we'll just do it this way. But anyway, man, we started talking about hot sausage sandwiches and all that kind of stuff. So what's going to happen is I'm going to break this down into parts, okay? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to have like 3 uploads. So the first one will be part one, the second one will be part two, this one will be part three. So this part three of the live predictions, okay? Those that don't know it, just tuned in. My prediction for the Saints Titan game is 31-21. That is what it is. 31-21. Did you see that I'm gonna ask coach to put Mariota back in? I don't want to get blamed for who. Yeah, I seen that, Ryan Tannehill, and thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I seen that, Ryan. Let's see. Charter is bad in South Louisiana. Oh man. Let's see. I want to say to everybody out there, man, that's thinking about this Saints game. I just think that the light that came on for the Saints, and I don't feel like they're gonna lose any more games. I really feel that way. I feel like the New Orleans Saints are not going to lose any more games. I think they should have buried them when they had a chance. I tell everybody this. I've been telling my friends this. They should have buried the Saints when they had a chance. When the 49ers beat them, I'm pretty sure they thought all hope was lost because you put up 46 points on this team and they still make 48 and they better. I'm pretty sure like the guys in the locker room like, dang, we ain't gonna catch them. The next week, the Falcons do the job. Out of all teams, the Falcons do the job. Wow. Anyway, that woke the Saints up. And it's like giving them a second opportunity at the playoffs, in my opinion. It's like if you lose in the playoffs and a team comes back into the playoffs. That's what it is. But Tyra, I said the same thing. If you go back to the State of the Saints podcast on Facebook, I said the Saints exposed the 49ers because a lot of people were trying to figure out how to stop the 49ers. When you have to put up 48 points, you emptying out the playbook, man. You emptying it out. The Saints allowed the 49ers, well, let me say it like this. The 49ers allowed the Saints to expose them because it gave other teams so much tape on these guys, all their offensive positionings, guys' plays, all that, because they basically emptied out the clip. I don't feel like the New Orleans Saints emptied out the clip. The 49ers emptied out the clip trying to beat the Saints. That's the reason why. I guarantee you, teams are chopping and screwing up that Saints 49ers game week after week after week. And they are trying to figure out what the Saints did wrong, what their teams can do better. So the Saints end up exposing the 49ers more so than the 49ers exposing the Saints because everybody thought that the 49ers were a better team than the Saints anyway. So I just feel like they just got exposed. Um 49ers only won by running every trick play in the book. Yeah. They got exposed, man. I'm telling you, they got exposed. All them plays, man. Like all them plays them guys ran in that game. So much tape. So much tape. So I feel, and I mean, but I will say this, Tyra. I mean, they're in the same division, so I mean, they know each other. They know their tendencies and stuff like that. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But I do feel like they got exposed. I feel like that was the reason why the Falcons were able to neutralize them. That and Dan Quinn, was the defense. I mean, he basically was the defensive coordinator, and Kyle Shanahan, when he was with the Falcons, he was the offensive coordinator. So they used to go up against each other every week. So that was beneficial. Uh, I just want I just want the Saints to have the number one seed or the number two seed. I wouldn't be mad at the number two seed. Let's see. Herman says, "What's going on, TJ? Giving you and the Who That family a shout out from Italy. Shouts out to you, Herman. Thank you, man. Man, shouts out to Herman, man. Always chiming in, always checking out the live, all the way from Italy. Man, shouts out to you. Thank you very much. Uh, Drew the Goat. What's going on, man? I hope the Saints get the two seed, not the one. You know, a lot of people are saying that they don't want the Saints to get the number one seed because I don't know, like, well, if the playoffs were to start, I think it would be the Seahawks that probably would be switching places with the Saints. So it would be the Seahawks. Wow, this be crazy. It'll be the Seahawks taking on the Vikings, and it would be the Cowboys taking on the 49ers. And the winner of that game, if the Vikings win, then they'll come to New Orleans. But if Seattle win, then they'll probably go to Green Bay. And whoever went out of the Cowboys and the 49ers end up going to New Orleans if it was the number one seed. I honestly, I don't care. I feel like the Saints can be any one of them. Don't matter to me. If they're the number two seed, I mean, whatever. They'll probably just end up having to play the Seahawks. I don't want them to play the Seahawks. I'm just be honest. I do not want them to play the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, man, the Seahawks scare the heck out of me. Russell Wilson is a musician. You know what I'm saying? Like magician with that ball, man. Like man, way he can just scramble out the pocket, improvise. Man, that dude's something special. I do not want to play the Seahawks. I don't. I'm not interested in that. I'd rather play the 49ers again than play the Seahawks. Yo, TJ, just read the playoff scenarios. I'll just screenshot it and send it to you so you can read it on Facebook. Thank you, man. I appreciate that because I really don't know. I mean, this is the most confusing time I ever seen as far as the playoffs because I don't know who number one. I'd rather the Saints play San Fran than Seattle. It's hard to beat a good team twice. Yep. Yep. Seattle, man, they scare me. I'd rather play the Hawks than San Francisco. The 49ers seem to be our kryptonite. Man, I'm not concerned about no 49ers. The Saints are a better team than the 49ers. The Saints did a lot of things wrong in that game that put them boys in that game. Remember, they're the ones that broke our 4-year home game winning streak, man. I still feel like the Saints are a better team. The Rams must beat San Fran. So what's the score? 21-17. What's the score of that game right now? Regardless, I mean, I don't. What quarter is it? What quarter is it? Are they in? I assume it's like the third, the late third quarter. Second? What? God, dog. Man, ain't got no defense played in that game. Anyway, I don't know, man. I just want these guys to. I just want the Saints to get, one or the two seed. It really don't matter to me. I just want them to be able to get that first round bye, where they can rest some guys and guys can possibly get back. So they can make that run. I hope we play the Packers in NFC Championship game. We will run right through them. The Packers, man. The Packers, man, they trash. Like I'm gonna just call it for what it is. I'm not impressed by the Packers. The Packers, they play in the NFC East. And then they got, you know what I'm saying, then the North, I mean, the Lions, they not good. The Bears, they not good this year. And I mean, I look at them. I mean, they got Adam Jones, the running back, and stuff like that. But they defense suspect. I mean, they got Preston Smith and the other Smith on the other side. Yeah, they can get pressure and all that kind of stuff. But they linebackers, I feel like they get beaten coverage. Their cornerbacks not that good. I feel like you can throw the ball on them. I feel like they can get smoked. So, and they play a lot of bump and run and press coverage. So, if you can win your one-on-one matchup, you can torch them all day. And Drew Brees, you know he gonna find the best matchup. So if we play the Packers, I think the Saints gonna end up winning. And plus, Aaron Rodgers, man, he fold like a cheap tent anytime you put pressure on him. So if the Saints start like getting pressure on him, sacking him, knocking him down, that I mean, he gonna be disinterested. He gonna start throwing the ball away because he gonna feel like, oh man, the offensive line ain't got it today. I ain't about to hurt myself. Who are you hoping to step up on offense as we push towards the playoffs? Honestly, the guy that I wanted to step up has been stepping up, and that's Traquan Smith. People have been talking about the number two, and the Saints need somebody else to step up, but Traquan been stepping up. Like I said, in that 49er game, when he caught that pass, that was that go-ahead touchdown for about 52 seconds. But nevertheless, that kind of builds his confidence because, man, he was supposed to have 2 touchdowns in this last game. And I don't think I ever seen Traquan Smith have 2 touchdowns in a game. I seen him go off in that Philadelphia Eagles game one time, but 2 touchdowns, multiple touchdowns in a game, never seen that from Traquan. So that's who I want to see step up. That's the guy I want to see really rise to the occasion. If he continue to play like he's been playing, I think the Saints will be in good shape. Let me see. It's been sent, bruh. You should check it out. Still confused me a little, but I think I understand. Okay, Chosen, I'll check it out. Talking about the playoff positionings. You gonna do a collab with Deuce and Ellis Ever? Honestly, Josh, I don't call you Joshua, to say Josh and Jesus. Honestly, I don't really know them like that. Like I really don't know them to do, collaborations with them. I mean, I see their work and they do outstanding work, like man, outstanding job. I mean, the presentation and everything like that of what they do, the breakdown, the analysis, great stuff. But honestly, I really don't know them to do collaborations with them. Would I do collaborations with them? Absolutely. I am no, I don't have a problem with that. But once again, I love their work. They do an outstanding job. Black and gold to the Super Bowl, God willing. Robert, I hope. uh, I'm not banking on Traquan showing up in the playoff. Trust me, he playing well right now. But we all know when it comes to Traquan, the big word is consistency. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, you gotta like what you're seeing right now, from him. So I'll give him a chance, man. I don't know what else they got. I mean, you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice but to give him an opportunity, Ice man. I understand what you're saying. Look, let's just break this. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room right now. Okay, the elephant in the room is the Saints don't have a number two, but the Saints ain't had a number two all season. 9 times out of 10, well, ain't no 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to address that until next year. Whether it be in a draft, you get a guy from another team, something. But it ain't happening. It's not. Like us having this conversation about the Saints need a number two. Saints need a number two. I mean, it's week 16. You got one more game and you're in the playoffs. So you're basically Jared Goff just threw a pick six. Oh my goodness. So I get okay, so 49ers got the lead now, 24-21, right? Anyway, uh what was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought when I seen somebody put Jared Goff. But anyway, no, the number two wide receiver. That's what I was talking about. But anyway, you're not going to be able to address that until next season. So it's all about it's just all about going in what you got right now. And what they have right now is got them 11 wins, so can't beat them up too bad. Jared Goff, sorry, but just threw a pick. Goff suck. 24-21 49ers. You know, that's the same thing the Saints did. You know, they should have put their foot on them, but instead they allowed the 49ers to get back in the game. I would like to see our D line step up some more and get the quarterback just a little more quicker. Not saying they've been horrific, but I feel like a lot of big plays would have happened if we would have had rush better. Yeah, they've been struggling over the past couple weeks, man. I ain't seen nobody getting to the quarterback, not even Cam Jordan. So man, they need to get some pressure on these quarterbacks. Now I give them a pass last week against the Colts because the Colts are man, the Colts got one of the best offensive lines in football, but man, I just feel like man, they just ain't been getting no pressure on the quarterback, and I feel like that's what something that they need to do. Marcus Davenport, I understand, you know, he was coming on, and maybe that's people getting double teaming Cam Jordan, but man, somebody need to step up. Trey Hendrickson, he started the season off hot. Now you barely hear from him. Somebody need to step it up. Titans O line is ranked 31st in the league. That's well, I mean, this is just the right time to get right. You know, try to get pressure on Tannehill, but Tannehill does have a tendency of scrambling out of the pockets now. I mean, they got to watch out for that too. You know, I mean, he used to be a wide receiver at Texas A&M before he was transitioned to quarterback, so he can. Excuse me. Yawning and stuff. He can't, make moves out of the pocket. So they got to be careful with Tannehill. Let's see. Saints put up the second most pressure against San Francisco on the year. They have a great old line, and so does Indianapolis. Yeah, that's why I say Indianapolis got one of the best. I think that this might be the greatest year in football history. So much competition. Yep. Anybody that goes to the Super Bowl in the NFC, they have deserved it. They're gonna deserve going to the Super Bowl. Straight up. I mean, you look at all this talent. I mean, anybody can beat anybody. I'm talking about even them sorry Cowboys can possibly make a run. Sometimes the game plan isn't to rush the quarterback, but to keep containment. Yeah, depends on the quarterback. Containment. When you talking containment, you talk about Lamar Jackson. You talk about Kyler Murray. You talking about Cam Newton. Guys like that. Guys that can beat you with their feet. But as far as like somebody standing in the pocket, you can rush him. He probably will run like Matt Ryan, for example. Okay, like it's probably good for you to rush Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan will run out of pocket every now and then. He'll shock you with the run, but 9 times out of 10 he gonna stay in the pocket and try to deliver the ball. Valid point, but us not having a number two receiver, especially during the playoff push, we need a receiver. No one other than Thomas is a factor. That's very unfortunate. I can't say that though. Not for the last couple weeks. Jared Cook has been he's been consistent. Um, and Michael Thomas has been consistent. As far I mean, Jared Cook is a number two receiver if you think about it. I mean, he just so happened to play at the tight end position. I remember back in the days a couple of years ago, Jimmy Graham. I mean, he was the guy. So the way I see it, you do have a number one receiver, but he just plays tight end. And as far as Traquan Smith, like I said, man, if Traquan can step up, if Traquan can, man, Traquan can give you like 3 or 4 catches in a game. That'll be good. And also, somebody I feel like has a bright future that I'm looking at is Deontay Harris. I don't know if he's a really good pass catcher just yet, but notice that the Saints are using him more and more on the field. So he might be that guy that can take the top off the defense one day. I think they probably gonna work with him. He probably gonna end up being, that guy that takes over for Ted again. Let's see. Jared Cook is playing really well. I found the Old Times Picayune newspaper that had on it Saints versus Ravens could be a sign. I hope so, Robert. Chosen, man, I would love to see Harris and some more of those offensive packages. Like just imagine him on a screenplay like Kamara run that guy is quick and he's shifty. Yeah, I mean they've been running them on jet sweeps and stuff like that now. And they also like wide receiver screens. They have him out there on that. But honestly, I think that he's very limited at pass catching as of right now. They said that I heard like some announcers said that Sean Payton said that he can be the equivalent to Tyreek Hill. They talk about how Tyreek Hill first came in the league. He was just a guy that had a lot of speed, but he didn't really have good hands. Yeah, all of a sudden, he started working on it. Got his work ethic up. Stepped his game up, and the next thing you know, now Tyreek Hill is, a borderline All Pro. So Deontay Harris has those type of skills. I mean, he's fast, he's shifty. He can make people miss, and he can be, something very, very special on special teams. I mean, he already made the Pro Bowl, so I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy. But I don't know, man. I don't trust the Rams. I mean, these guys are like hot and cold. Don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully they can get this win. Titans pass rush is barely middle of the pack. I expect the Saints to win by double digits. King Arthur, I hope you're right. I just don't underestimate anybody. Like I don't look at numbers and statistics because statistics would have told you that the Saints would have beat the brakes out the Falcons when they played them in the Superdome, and then the Falcons come in and they beat the brace off the Saints. Statistics will show you that the Falcons didn't have a chance in hell, excuse my French, against the San Francisco 49ers, and they beat them. So I mean, I don't really pay attention to statistics. It's about execution. It depends on what Saints team gets on the field on Sunday. Hopefully, it'll be a team that we all know that we seen this past Monday that was executing really well, and Thomas Morris did only punted the ball once or twice. Chosen Kingdom says another thing is that Dwayne Washington is a hidden treasure. I feel like every time he runs, it's going to be a big play, even though if it's in the last few minutes of the game, that guy runs hard. I want to see more. Yeah, I've been lobbying for the past couple of weeks. I think the Saints need to run three running backs. I think that they need to put Dwayne Washington out there. I mean, he is a key contributor. I mean, he was the one that blocked the punt late in the game. You can call it garbage time all you want to, but I mean, he was getting yards. He was the one that got the first down in order for them to seal the game, take a couple knees, and in the game. So I think the Saints need to use him. I don't know why. I think they can use three running backs. They done it before. So even if he's getting like a couple, carries, two or three, I mean, that's still beneficial. I don't underestimate anyone, but Logan Ryan statistically is one of the worst cover corners in the league. Mike is going to have a field day. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he might have a field day, but like I said, I just look at the game. King Arthur. Like I said, I respect your opinion. I really do, but honestly, man, I've seen Saints games where I'm like, I'm looking at the TV like I can't believe what I'm looking at right now. Like, man, I can't believe these guys just allowing these guys to do this. Allowing this quarterback to look like he the second coming of Joe Montana. Allowing this running back to look like he the second coming of Walter Payton. I just want them to be consistent. I want to see these guys go out there and perform at a high level. I mean, and I think they're gonna win tomorrow. I think they're gonna win by 10 points. Like I said, I think the score gonna be 31-21. I think they're gonna win this football game, but I just want to see them execute. And I mean, there's no room for error right now. I mean, they got to be playing top notch, clicking on all cylinders type football. So no room for error. And the only reason I'm saying 21 is because I mean it's in Nashville. I mean you gotta keep an account, that they got the home crowd gonna be going and stuff like that and cheering. When we win the Super Bowl, do we bring Drew back if he's available? Honestly, I don't think Drew Brees coming back if the Saints win the Super Bowl. I don't know how true this is, but I heard this story and somebody published it. I can't remember what news outlet, but they said that Drew Brees was in a Superdome well after 1 a.m. And they said that him and his family were walking on the football field. And a lot of people were looking at that as that might be an indication that this might be Drew Brees' like, last last time in the Superdome. Because that is it's not their last game at the Superdome this season. Because of course, they got a home game in the playoffs. But a lot of people are saying that that might possibly be, some kind of indication that it might be his last go round. I don't know how true that is, so take it for what it is. Uh, I think it's going to be close. Saints 28, Titans 21. Can't believe it's like the playoff game where Vernon Davis scored on us late and sucked the air out of all Saints fans' homes. Yep. Yeah, that play. I ain't gonna lie. That play by George Kittle was kind of like the same way. That was the same way to me. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like Saints playoff games. I mean, it's so heartbreaking. Like I could think back to. I mean, let's just be honest. Like we love the Saints, but have you ever seen teams just lose a game in such a heartbreaking fashion like the Saints in the playoffs? Like I can think about when they played the Seahawks back in 2010. You had Beastquake. I can think about the playoff game with that 2012, 2013. Vernon Davis, you know what I'm saying? Like catch the ball. I can think about, Minneapolis Miracle, the no call. Like I never seen a team like just I don't know, man. Just so bad things just constantly happen to them in the playoffs like that, like memorable moments. Like I just never seen anything like that. I'm like, can we at least get one? Like I mean, we got the Garrett Hartley field goal, and and in my opinion, in my honest opinion, the NFL didn't like that. I know a lot of people are saying like, man, they wanted like this. Is what your friends will say that don't like to say. Man, the NFL wanted y'all to go to the Super Bowl because they felt sorry for y'all because of Katrina. I don't think the NFL wanted the Saints to go to the Super Bowl at all. Because if you can remember, when Garrett Hartley kicked that field goal in overtime, they changed the overtime rule. Did they not? And they changed that overtime rule because the Saints won off a field goal. So now it's like if a team kick a field goal in overtime, the other team gets to possess the football and try to drive down the field. I mean, you do the math. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like I feel like the Saints screwed something up, and now they're like, okay, man, we can't do this anymore. We gotta allow them to, do. We gotta allow the other team to advance. So I do feel that way. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the podcast. Thank you all very much. Please subscribe to the channel, youtube.com, search State of the Saints podcast. Also, check me out on Facebook, facebook.com, search State of the Saints podcast. And also, I'll answer all the rest of your questions on tomorrow. Just remember the questions that you want to ask. We'll break the game down. Hopefully, we'll be talking about the Saints being victorious. But I'm looking forward to a great game. Until next time, I'm TJ Jones. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. And all I got to say is, who that? Good night, everybody.